This is an overview for Module 2. There are several key terms that you will learn based on Chapter 3, which is the data, deductive reasoning, ethics, inductive reasoning, informed consent. You will learn about methodologies of research. You'll learn about mixed methods of research. You'll learn what a paradigm means and what the paradigms of research are. You will also learn the difference between qualitative and quantitative research. You will be exposed to the deductive approach to research, which starts with a theory that creates a hypothesis, and observations are collected to support or disprove a hypothesis, and there's confirmation or rebuttal of the hypothesis. You will also be exposed to the inductive approach to research, which starts with observations, patterns that lead to a tentative hypothesis, and a theory that's grounded in the observations themselves. You will learn to distinguish between quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods, paradigms, or research methods. You will learn the difference in the scientific method, common research objectives for each type of research. You'll learn to differentiate between the foci for each kind of research and their perspectives on human behavior. You will also learn to understand the nature of reality between the three forms of research. You will also recognize how observations are collected. You will also learn the types of data that may be procured by each of these types of research and the type of data that's collected. You will also learn how data is analyzed in quantitative, qualitative, or a mixed methods research model, and you will understand how results are generated and what form the final report takes. This module will also expose you through Chapter 3 to research ethics, which will hopefully expose you to the way of thinking about ethics as it's applied to research itself. Key terms from Chapter 4, which are included in this module, will be literature review, search, sensitivity, and specificity as it pertains to the search itself. The objective of the search is something that you will learn about, the logic for having a good search and a valid search, and to be both sensitive and specific when doing your searches. You'll be exposed once again to the evidence-informed decision-making process wheel. The focus in this section of the module is on the key term search, as it is the precursor to appraisal of the information and synthesis of your findings to be able to use and implement in practice. You'll be exposed to the stages of the literature review, which has multiple steps such as problem formulation, literature search, data evaluation, and analysis and interpretation. In order to do a good literature search, you will need a good research question. Chapter 4, which is described in Module 2 as well, will present to you different formats or different templates so that you may be able to form a good research question. Examples are the PICO format or the PIOT format, which are acronyms that are explained better in Chapter 4. You might also be able to form a research question using a COPS format. There are a couple of additional formats that you will see other than the PS format as well, which are called Spider and Spice, and there's more about that in your module and in your textbook. You're also exposed in this module to different types of scholarly publications, which go from primary research papers to case studies to reviews to systematic reviews, meta-analyses, meta-syntheses, letters of communications, theoretical papers, applied papers, and professional communications. You're then exposed to the 6S pyramid. The 6S pyramid is essentially a hierarchical organization of information according to quality, which you might be able to use for practice. At the top of the pyramid are the most relevant pieces of evidence that you can actually use directly for practice, and as you move down the pyramid, the quality of evidence tends to be lower. You're further exposed to using terms in search engines and in search databases, which allow you to systematically look for very specific topics with examples such as is taking vitamin C an effective treatment for the common cold. In addition to being able to appraise research documents, you're also provided tools to be able to assess internet and gray literature sources such as the CRAAP test. In addition, you are presented with a section that communicates the general methods of appraisal, which have 4 different goals to test the credibility, objectivity, persuasiveness, and value of any documentation that you read. Finally, as you conclude your literature review, this section of the module deals with you being able to tailor your literature review to start from broad issues, to go with studies that overlap with your topic, and then finally focus it to your research question or studies that are directly related to your area of practice. You also are provided tips for writing your literature reviews, which are very valuable in making sure that they are succinct, but at the same time complete in nature. And that pretty much concludes what you will learn in Module 2, which is based essentially on chapters 3 and 4.